Thanks for joining me. Not all pastas are created equal. That is for sure. Some of them do not deserve to be in your cabinet, and we're going to take a peek at the ones that do deserve to be in your cabinet. So let's get started. Okay, and to start in, there are so many different kinds of pastas, and just because they sort of look alike in the box or in the shape, they are not alike. A lot of them are made in different countries with different ingredients, so it is really worth your time to put on your glasses and read the side or the back of the box to check out the nutrition, check out the fiber, check out the protein, because these pastas, of course, are carbs, and carbs everybody is against, and I get that. But people are still eating pasta because it has a very enjoyable mouthfeel. So if you are going to eat pasta, I always say combine it with a protein and a little bit of fat, because that will help counter the glycemic hit that your body will take from the pasta. Now, also, I don't buy any pastas that are made with refined flour, and that has shown me that I kind of have ended up with high quality pastas or pastas made in Italy, because they take the time. I don't think they use pesticides on their food. I have called Barilla and I have called the DiCecco, and they have both said, I think DiCecco has one pasta where they use pesticides in the drying of the wheat. But most of them are organic or non-GMO. I always purchase non-GMO when I can. And the non-GMO means that the seed was not modified. But if it's not organic, that does mean that it could have been sprayed with pesticides in the drying process or in the growing process. So you have to look around, question everything. But Barilla said they do not use pesticides in the wheat where they get their flour. So I like that. And then some of this I did purchase from Whole Foods, and I know they do a good job of checking out what's in their pastas. So let's start with, I don't want to say the worst first, but let's start in on this. Now, it does say non-GMO project verified, so that tells me that nobody has messed with the seed. It does say it's Mexico's #1 pasta. I bought that here in my town, and and I cannot find where it was made on the back of the bag. So I picked it up just to show it, but even though it's non-GMO, it could have been sprayed with pesticides in the growing process or in the drying process, and it was fairly cheap. So that tells me something may have happened, although it's non-GMO, so that's better than nothing. But we have 2 grams of fiber, 7 grams of protein, and 42 carbs. This is definitely a pasta that I would definitely have protein with it, a red sauce with some chicken or fish or beef, or a Greek yogurt sauce, or a light cream sauce with yogurt. But that's not my favorite. Okay, so we're moving over here. I picked this up because my grandmother used to use cremettes on sort of everything. Cremettes was the brand she liked. And this little acini di pepe is tiny. And that is really nice for like soups. And so I did pick that up for soup. It is non-GMO, which does mean the seed was not modified. It has a little protein like that one, 2 grams, 7 grams, it has a little bit of fiber, 2 grams like that one, 7 grams like that one, carbs, non-GMO, and that was made in the U.S. So, it is semolina wheat, durum wheat, niacin, ferrous sulfate, which is iron, thiamine, mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid. So they add some of those vitamins and minerals. They've been adding those for a long time. So that's the American pasta. Okay, so then we're going to go to, let's see. We're going to go to, that's 2 grams. Okay, so then we're going to go, okay, and this is 2 grams too. Okay, so DiCecco. I bought this one because I love DiCecco, and let's see, that is non-GMO. Excuse me, DiCecco's been around forever. It is non-GMO, made in Italy. And I purchased this because a bucatini is like a big spaghetti with a hole in the middle of it. And I'm going to make a vegetable pasta, and I wanted that specific noodle because noodles come in all shapes, because you may want to use them with a big vegetable, something that's small and delicate, an angel hair with some scampi, some spaghetti with big meatballs, some shell noodles with chopped chicken and veggies. It's up to you how you like your ratio of a thin noodle to whatever you're putting in with it. But that's, the shape is up to you. But the DiCecco has 2 grams of fiber, 8 grams of protein, 40 carbs, non-GMO, and Italy. So that definitely, because it has so many carbs, I'm going to use a decent amount of meat in that, and also vegetables. But I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so then we get into this little whole grain vermicelli, and I am making some Asian inspired noodles, and so that has 3 grams of fiber. That's actually brown. These are made in Thailand. 4 grams of protein, 36 grams of carbs. I did get them at Whole Foods, so I have no idea what they're doing to their pastas or grains in Thailand. So it does, make me wonder. They can label anything, right? They can put a label on anything. So it's up to you to read and decide if it has earned its way into your cart. But I needed that specific, very thin rice noodle, and I couldn't find it with anyone else. So here we go. It's whole grain rice with rice and rice bran. So that's the outside of the bran. But rice isn't that fantastic, but that has a specific need. So back to add your protein, even tofu, but, add a little bit of oil because these are carbs. Okay, now we're going to go to Rumo. Now, I love this pasta. This has the most beautiful mouthfeel. I made a pasta dish. It was broken pasta with roasted tomatoes on YouTube. It's delicious, but it has lower fiber, very quality ingredients, but 8 grams of protein, 41 carbs, and that is made with semolina flour. Okay, then we're going to DiCecco, and DiCecco is made in Italy, another one, and this one I picked up because I wanted to do kind of a very light sauce. And so it's an interesting noodle, extra thin noodles, pappardelle, which is a thin wide ribbon, slow dried, and 10 grams of protein, and that's probably from the eggs, 2 grams of fiber, 44 of carb. And so, let's see, is that pasta verified? Italy's pretty good because remember they don't like buying a lot of our foods because we have heavy pesticide in the growing process and then in the drying process of the wheat. So Europe doesn't like, and other countries don't like our grains necessarily. So this is beautiful. This is from Italy, but this is a specific noodle for a specific need, which is a very gentle egg noodle. You could do a cream sauce, Parmesan cheese, olive oil, lightly toasted garlic. I probably wouldn't do big heavy tomatoes or big chunks of meat, but it has a specific use. So it does have some fiber, but I'm going to definitely add more vegetables to get it to where I like my fiber to be. Okay, so then we go on to the DiCecco whole wheat, and that is a pasta that is truly whole wheat. It is protein, fiber, phosphorus. It has 4 grams of fiber and non-GMO, but that is the whole grain that whole meal durum wheat semolina, and your vitamins. Contains wheat. Of course it does, because it's whole wheat. But that means that the outside of the grain was left on the wheat as they made the pasta. Now, some people don't like the mouthfeel of true whole wheat. I do, but if it's something you don't like, you might want to try it, because it does take a minute to get used to. It's very hearty. It's like whole wheat bread. But like I just, like my niece and nephew, they didn't really like it, but then we went to Barilla and they loved it. So it's kind of, whole wheat is a definite thing. But then we go to the Barilla El Bronzo, and this is pasta that is dried in molds instead of running through an extrusion. This has 3 grams of fiber, 8 grams of protein, 41 carbs, made in Italy. But it's a very nice pasta. I've used it. It is really lovely. It cooks up beautifully because it is in the bronze molds, which changes the drying process, they say. But 4 ingredients there. You've got your semolina flour, your semolina wheat, durum wheat flour, and your vitamins and minerals, which they add. And then here's another shape of that, of the bucatini, which is like the Diceco, and that is bronze cut, which means that it's put in a mold instead of extruded. This is probably in a bronze mold too. Oh, bronze drawn, yes. Okay, so then we go over to our last, but pretty much my 2 favorites, and the other ones are like specialty, like if you have a certain pasta you're making and you need that specific noodle. But for my day-to-day, I eat the protein elbow. I eat the protein Barilla. They make many shapes. Or I eat the protein Brahmi. I don't even know how to say it, but I love it. And there are more pastas than those in the protein and the high fiber, but they can get up to $6 to $8 to $9 a pound. And I find these to be in the mid 2s to 3. And because they have protein in there, and these a significant amount, it's almost like a chicken breast. So you get this beautiful mouthfeel of the lupini beans and the Italian wheat, and then you get protein and fiber. So kind of like that for the win. You can find that on Amazon. It's in a lot of stores, but it's really, really worth trying. Yeah, it's just super. 21 grams of protein, 9 grams of fiber. Hello. And I mean, if you even added, some grilled or sauteed vegetables, if you wanted a Greek yogurt sauce, put that on top. You could add protein to it. You're just going to amp up your protein. That's all you're going to do there. And that's incredible. But it's a heck of a pasta. Love it. And this is with chickpeas. This is a non-GMO, and that's with chickpeas. Let's see, was this one with non-GMO? Maybe non-GMO. Okay, made in Italy. Okay, made in Molise, Italy. Premium batch. They, oh, it is right under the tag. Forgive me. Right there. So, yay. That's been verified. Even though it's made in Italy, the Project GMO is worldwide. So that's why you see that on a lot of your foods, because the whole world is using that organization to verify if the seed has been genetically modified in the ground. Okay, so this is plant-based protein, fiber, 11 vitamins and minerals. But as you see, semolina flour, which is wheat, durum wheat flour, lentil flour, pea protein, chickpea flour, barley flour, and spelt flour. And this has the yummiest mouthfeel. You can feed this to people who do not like whole wheat, and they will not even know that there are chickpeas in there. So this is kind of a sleeper, lovely one. 5 grams of fiber, 10 of protein, 38 carb, non-GMO as we can see. And it's a little bit less than that one. That one has more protein. You're going to pay for more protein. When you get more protein in your food, they want a little bit more money. But if it's 50 cents and it's the amount of a chicken breast, you do have a savings in your wallet because you didn't have to buy the chicken breast, or you didn't have to buy 2 Greek yogurts. And you get a delicious mouthfeel if that is what, every few weeks, if pasta's on your menu, think about these really good ones, or the whole wheat, or if you do those, bring a protein in. So you want to make sure that you're doing the best you can. Buy your labels, read the back. What are they offering you? Do they deserve to be in your cart? If they don't, put them down and do some more research and find some pastas that feed your body grain and legumes in a healthy format. So we're done. See, pasta is not all the same. There are some choices that really deserve to be in your grocery cart and in your cupboard. And I hope I help you see a few more choices. So next time when you're making a pasta dish, you pick a choice where you can add a couple servings of vegetables and some meat as a side, or a protein in your sauce, and you are set on a wonderful meal. So thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.